Good evening and welcome to PopVulture. My name is Cole.
My name is Az.
Apocalypse. And this is PopVulture and our lowdown of X-Men Apocalypse.
Ha ha, Apocalypse.
Apocalypse.
Like
That was you hung on that, didn't you?
That was good.
First things first though, you may have noticed by now we've had a bit of an update of artwork and things like that. That may still change.
We're in a transitional period.
A moral quandary, if you will.
We're like Caitlyn Jenner.
Caitlyn Jenner.
Caitlyn.
Whatever.
Stephen.
Bruce.
I was trying to say names, which, yeah.
So at the moment we are currently unsure of what we're going to go with logo-wise, but the ones that we've got all over the place are the ones that we've got at the moment. So
Stuff everywhere.
We'll go with that, why not?
We do video games now.
We do video games now as well. We started to branch out. We actually do Twitch streams fairly regularly. Well, I say fairly regularly. We've done one so far. He's done a few solo as well. So if you'd like to check that out, I've included the link in the section below. But continuing on with the movie.
Movie.
We went to go see it at the midnight showing, which may have been a mistake, but we'll find out throughout this review, I suppose.
We were very sceptical.
We were very
going
sceptical.
in. It was like, well, I was, to be fair, we both had work today.
Yeah.
We were both like, we're not going to get out of the cinema until like 3 in the morning.
And we didn't.
And both like, what if this film sucks?
Yeah.
We saw Fantastic Four at midnight showing, and by God, what a mistake that was.
What a mistake and to make out.
Yeah.
But so we're just gonna roll this out as quickly as we can with 5 points that we liked about the film, 5 points we didn't necessarily like about the film, and a brief conclusion and a score, so that you can make up your minds as to whether or not you want to go see it this weekend or later at any point.
Well, in a minute.
Exactly. Tomorrow, today, why not? So, jumping right into it. What?
Give me a point.
I'll give you a point.
Because you. I know you're like Captain.
Sorry, I've got
Buzzy Pants.
itchy face.
You got. Wow.
It's my throat. One thing that I really liked about Apocalypse is it doesn't spend too much time with the characters in terms of exposition, in terms of backstory, in terms of like getting to know them, because we already know them. It jumps you straight into, you know, these guys, and there's a lot of dialogue, but it rehashes a lot of dialogue from the older movies, and it sort of invests you a little bit further than you might not have been.
But do you know what I liked about it as well? Is that like you say, it didn't hang too much on everybody's introduction, but at the same time, even though we were introduced to them years ago, we weren't introduced to them like this film. They were all teachers in the school and stuff.
Exactly.
Like so this is them literally when they're starting out.
Exactly.
As an X-Man.
And that's seen in the movie, particularly with Xavier sort of starting the school. You know that he has the school. We know that he started the school, but this is largely that transitional period where he's like, well, this is my end goal. This is where I need to get to.
Okay. Do you know what I really enjoyed?
What?
The fact that it didn't linger on the whole thing of being like, oh, mutants versus humans.
No.
And things like that. No wrong, it's touched upon.
Yeah. But it's not bloated.
Because it was to the point where they've beaten the dead horse for that. Every film, pretty much up until this point, other than the Wolverine movies, has been very much like, oh, humans hate mutants.
And that was really evident in the last film as well. It was really political,
so
really
political.
sort of, oh, you know...
We like talky films.
We do.
That was a talky film.
Yeah. But there was no real substance to it.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a talky film.
No.
It was a talky film set in a non-talky universe.
Exactly, yeah.
You know? It's like, we need some talky.
We need some action.
And not too much talky.
Yeah. And also, speaking of sort of new characters, you are introduced to the main kind of protagonists of the entire X-Men series, if you will, which are Cyclops, Scott Summers, Jean Grey, obviously Jean Grey,
yeah.
or Marvel Girl, whatever you want to call her.
Yeah.
Nightcrawler, Kurt Wagner.
Storm
as well. Although one thing I will point out is that I'll touch on this sort of a little bit in terms of what I didn't necessarily like about it. She's never referred to as Storm. She's never named. She's never even...
Her name isn't mentioned.
No. And I was very, very sceptical going into this that the characterisation of the whole thing might not necessarily be very good, because up until this point, the only character that Bryan Singer's really gotten right is Wolverine.
Yeah.
Everybody else has always just been a little bit...
Can we touch on that?
We could touch on that, yeah.
He gets it well right.
He does
He gets
get
it
well
so
right.
right. He gets it supremely right with Wolverine. Everybody knows who's seen the everybody's seen the trailer.
Everybody's seen the trailer.
There'll be a snippet over my face probably right now as we're saying this. He's Wolverine.
He is
in
Wolverine.
this film. Comic book level Wolverine.
We get a large amount of just pure fan service in terms of his cameo. Obviously, we won't go into too much detail about it, but one thing that we will say is it potentially
it's the best scene
of Wolverine that we have ever had
in any of the films.
In any of the films,
easy.
Sophie Turner, young Sophie Turner of Game of Thrones fame as Jean Grey. I was very, very sceptical about her going in as well because up until this point, all we'd ever seen of her is Game of Thrones. And as Sansa, her acting performance is sort of very, very wooden and almost slightly jarring. It needed another element to be able to sort of throw it into, okay, this is Jean Grey.
I mean, this is a totally different character as well.
A totally different character, totally different kettle of fish. We've never really seen her stretch acting-wise, but boy does she stretch. Like, this is great. And this makes me like her as a person
Yeah.
a lot more because I've seen another side to her.
She's a good choice at the end.
100%. She nails the American accent. At no point does it sort of draw me out of it that she's Sansa.
No.
She is Jean Grey, and she plays a great Jean Grey, and I love the fact that we're going to get to see her and obviously Scott and Kurt and all the other characters grow from this point. Touch wood. I am very, very excited to see more of the characters that they introduced in this. 100%. And I love that.
So are we keeping a point system here right now?
It's going to bits. It's falling
the point.
Point system.
Point systems are for other people. This is where I think I'm going to 180 this and I'm going to start going into stuff that I didn't like. Because I think, as much as I enjoyed the films, the things that I didn't enjoy so much stick out like a sore thumb. And one of those being that... I forgot what I was going to say. I totally lost my fucking train of thought.
That's right. It's fine.
No, it's not. No, it's not. What was I saying?
Right.
Trailer footage. That's what I was saying. It gives away too much. The problem with that is that I didn't feel any sense of urgency watching the film. And I think that took away from Apocalypse. Don't get me wrong, the whole film plays him out as he's this dude who has the intention of destroying the world. He's Apocalypse, that's his name. That's what he's going to do. He wants to destroy the world and he goes to this plan the whole way through. Sometimes these villains are a bit shaky in these films and they don't stick to their point.
Yeah, he's a very, very unremarkable villain, but one thing I will stick up for him about is the fact that Oscar Isaac's performance is good, it's decent.
He does what he can with it.
From a character standpoint, as an X-Men fan, he's not Apocalypse. He could be any sort of...
No, he's not. He's just
all-powerful mutant.
Ultimate villain one.
Exactly. He has his agenda and he sticks to his agenda and it all unravels fairly quickly. He doesn't spend the entire movie sort of monologuing to the point where he then sort of only ends up destroying like a city and sort of just to prove a point. He's looking at you, Age of Ultron. Like he genuinely, he's like, well, I need to wipe the world clean in order to start a better one. He just...
And that's his agenda, and he sticks to it. He wants his
to
horsemen, he gets them, he moves on with his plan.
It isn't really going to be that memorable going forward.
I feel like they squandered that character.
They squandered him and they squandered a lot of other people.
They've squandered a lot of stuff.
We have mentioned that it introduced a lot of characters who are obviously the original X-Men characters, and they nailed it. But on the flip side of that, you had other characters that completely missed the mark. And I think included in those are 3 out of 4 of the Horsemen. Angel is set up so that he has so much more potential than he ever ends up actually being given.
First, straight away when you see him in the film, I was like, I'm interested.
Yeah.
I'm invested.
Yes.
And then, it falls a bit flat in its face.
And again, I sort of grew up and I've read a lot of X-Force and things like that, and it seems like they only really turned him into quote-unquote Archangel in order to appease certain fans. And I think they did that, they did Apocalypse for the whole same sort of reason, is that fans wanted it, so they just shoehorned it in. And it is very shoehorned and it didn't really work. Psylocke
just barely anything.
Barely anything. As much as I love the character of Psylocke and as much as I love Olivia Munn, there's only so much you can look at in this movie and go, that's Olivia Munn, that's great. It wouldn't surprise me if we get a lot of deleted scenes of her and stuff that was left on the cutting room floor. What she does well with, but there's not enough of it. And again, as a Psylocke fan, like, the characterization of Psylocke isn't great in that I want Betsy Braddock. I want I want her to be British.
Yeah,
I want British.
British?
I want her to be British.
Why not British?
British?
We've already said about Storm. So
We've said about Storm.
Storm's not. Yeah. She
She's-
doesn't even get a name drop.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And also, it seems like she graduated from the Wanda Maximoff School of Questionable Accents.
Yes.
African Queen.
Accents.
Look,
If you're gonna do them, get them right, or just don't bother. Speaking of the other Horseman, just to quickly just say as well, is that Magneto is the most fleshed out character in I think in any superhero film right now.
oh yeah, huge.
Holy shit, that dude has backstory for days.
So much.
Like so much backstory.
And so much happens to that guy.
Yeah, I know. Like legit for a villain, you feel so much empathy for this dude. It's
Oh yeah.
unreal.
And Fassbender is
Fassbender's
so
great.
a good.
So
actor.
glad they picked him. Holy shit, he's great.
One thing that sort of drew me out of the movie a little bit was the visual effects. And the visual effects, granted, in every single Fox output film, Marvel movie, never
It's
great.
questionable.
It is questionable. It's never
It's
great.
very questionable.
I don't know what we expect at this point, but you look at things like Civil War and you think, well, this
looks splendid the whole way through.
better.
Exactly.
It's just
Like you've got the budget, man.
Mystique though. I still don't like this version of her. I will say, like Jennifer Lawrence.
What's
yes,
this bitch's problem?
What is her deal? Like,
don't
what
know.
does she want? I just think she's really boring, and I just think
To be fair, she's not in this film a lot. She's
No,
not the main
not as much as
main
you'd expect.
focal point.
She's in the trailer a lot.
She's in the trailer a lot, but that's misleading. Final thing
Yeah.
on dislikes is I liked the whole film until the final act.
Yes.
It's not that I disliked the final act. The final act was just too dragged out. It was too drawn out.
Goes from zero to
Yeah,
back.
like,
Crazy.
don't get me wrong, it's wild the shit's happening in the third act, but it's like, really f***ing sake, you
Yeah.
know?
I get why you're doing it because you want a huge scale and you want to be like, this guy doesn't about, but at the same time, like, seriously,
Yeah.
like, don't rein it in.
I think that's it. I think we
think
made
that's
our
it.
points.
I
These
think-
are our points.
The reaction that it's had so far hasn't been warranted, from my opinion. And I
I think a lot more of the harsher reviews. Don't get me wrong, I think we need some new blood directing these movies.
Oh, 100%. I think,
Singer's done 5 now out of 6 of the core X-Men movies.
and I think
and I
because
think-
he's sort of teed up the younger generation a lot more, if he were to hand the torch to somebody else
They
to
can
just
run
sort of
with it.
breathe a little bit more life into
I
it.
think Singer's had his day. I'm not saying this is a bad film, because I'm not, because
And
I agree with you, the critical response so far is totally unwarranted. This is a decent film.
It is a very, very good
I've
film.
even seen one comic book reviewer say this is the best X-Men film.
Exactly. And granted, like, we went to see it quite early this morning, but on reflection, the more I think about the movie, the more I actually
I
like
want to
it.
go see it again.
I want to go see it again. Should we go see it again right now?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, let's go.
Just score it.
Yeah, we'll score it. Well, I'm just going to throw mine out there. Obviously, out of 88, as we always do, I'm going to go with... I'll just second guess myself.
Oh no.
Oh no. I'm going to go 71.
71. Oh, that's higher than I was going to give.
Just realised there's massive shining light right
Let's.
God, why is that happening?
See, I'm going to say like 63 out of 88. So
Okay.
mine would be around the 70s.
Right.
Which is still, if we're talking Rotten Tomatoes scores right now, that's still like
That's
20
still-
odd percent
still
higher
decent.
than what it is.
It had its pitfalls,
It's
but
not
I
the
think...
best superhero film ever.
It's not. It's not a perfect movie. It's by no means Civil
It's
War.
no means bad. Go see
Go
this
see
film.
it. And in a year where we've got so many f***ing comic book movies, like, this is so far up there.
Yes.
What should we say, sort of, as a
What
pop
did you say, 71? I said 60. What did I say?
63.
Yeah.
67?
67 out of 88.
Yeah. So it's still high. It's still high.
Just batting it up and down. Can you do an effect with this? Or
I'll
just
just
like
try.
cut it?
I
Or-
don't know. I might just
Who
stick
knows?
it
It
over
looks
your
like I'm
face.
cupping balls. Who knows?
Wow. Comment on our stuff. Give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to our videos as well. As of next week, we will be throwing out a tiny little giveaway in the mid part of Game of Thrones as well.
We hope
So-
you like Pops. We'll give you that little morsel of information.
Who doesn't love Pops?
Who doesn't
There's
like Pops?
So many of them.
We
around.
like Pops!
Oh, we're going to be doing a Twitch stream on Friday as well, so check that
Twitch
out.
stream Friday.
Depends on
but
if it's up or
This
not.
might be Saturday.
Hopefully should be.
If it isn't, go watch it on repeat. If not, till then, see you later. Subscribe, share, blah blah blah. Bye
In
bye.
my mouth.
Fluffy mouth.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.